Admit he's robbing Peter to pay Paul. But when Consumer Watch's Amanda Taylor confronted a barn builder, that's just part of the explanation she got. He's doing business all across the state, and we start tonight in Sparks, Oklahoma.
This might as well be anywhere in Oklahoma, because what happened here on the outskirts of Prague has happened in at least half a dozen other towns across the state.
I am tired. I said ever since this thing has been started, it seemed like we've had nothing but problems.
We met Joanne Coleman and her husband John because of the problems they've had getting their barn completed. The ordeal started back in March.
This was in the paper, in the Shawnee News.
They spotted this ad for JMP Buildings and dealt directly with Jason Priest.
We've never met anyone like him. He's got a personality that you think he's really on the level, but he wasn't.
We'll meet him in just a minute, but first to the contract.
This is what we agreed on.
The Colemans were to pay him in 3 installments. The first was paid and up went the framing. But when they paid him the second of about $7,500, the work stopped.
It's been wait every day for him to come, have to call him, and he'd never show up.
Besides the Colemans in Lincoln County, we have complaints out of Caddo, Oklahoma, Pottawatomie, Logan, and also Canadian and Atoka counties. But Jason Priest says it's not his fault.
I feel really sorry for what happened to him. I wish I could have avoided what happened and what she created, but I couldn't stop it.
The person he's referring to is Marita Priest, his soon-to-be ex-wife. He says the company was hers. She was in charge of the books, and once he realized she had taken the money, he tried to do what he could.
Well, after what she created, it was a rob Peter to pay Paul deal, you know what I mean? To try to keep it going and try to solve all the problems.
Jason's basically saying that you're the one who spent the money and mismanaged it.
Right. That's what he's saying. That's not true.
She doesn't deny she did the accounting, but says as soon as money started disappearing, that was the beginning of the end.
I found out in February what was going on. He was taking the check card when he was going to Texas to do jobs down there and taking out $500 every day so he could start putting it back.
I don't have their money. She has their money.
Someone's obviously not telling the truth. But Jason doesn't blame Marita for one of the barns. He blames the customer. Listen to this. The customer who is building this barn in Tecumseh tells us he had to pay the concrete guy directly because the subcontractor was complaining he wasn't getting paid by Jason.
But why is that the customer's fault when they think,
because
oh my goodness?
The customer is contracted to me. They should never write money to somebody else just because they're throwing a fit. They should have called me.
So that means you're not going to go back out and finish their barn?
No, I will. I have everything there to do it.
He also says he'll finish the Colemans. He blames the Coleman delay on their insurance company, who apparently told him they needed to look the barn over before work continued. But the Colemans say that wasn't the case, and they don't want him back on their property. But they do have a message for him.
Change your life. Get your life straightened up. If you don't, you're going down the wrong road.
2 of the other customers have already sued successfully in court, and they are all planning on filing a complaint with the Attorney General's office. If you've been a victim of this mess, you too should file a complaint. You can go to my blog at news9.com/consumerwatch for more information. We're here to keep an eye